Hey guys, Thrasher here. The brand new Vegeta has finally arrived. I've got him maxed out, level 2,498% soul boosted. But how does he work? Let's talk about it right now. Okay, first thing we want to do is go menu, and then we're going to go to characters, and we are going to select Vegeta in the top left here. So this is him with 5 stars. Here are his actual stats. Actually, before we look at his stats, let's just go ahead and look at his character card real quick. So this is what it normally looks like. If you lay your phone or your mobile device flat, it turns into that. Looks pretty sweet. I'm a big fan of the art. Let's go ahead and back out of that. And now we can look at the actual stats here. So what you're going to notice here is his health is decent, his strike attack is decent, his blast is a little below par, and then his strike and defense, his strike and blast defense are both decent. So across the board, his stats are decent. Nothing here is amazing. Where the viability of this character comes from is his kit. So one of the things we need to mention here is he is a strike-based unit. He is meant to be a Rising Rush sponge, then do a lot of strike damage when you need to in very specific situations. So let's scroll down and see that he holds 2 strike cards, which is very powerful. Like we said, he is a strike-based unit. And then if we look down at the tags, he is Saiyan and he's Frieza Force. Those are the 2 teams that he can run on. I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute, but let's actually talk about his abilities now. So if we go over to the ability area, we're going to see a few different things here. First is Overwhelming Power. He can restore his own health by 25%. He gets a 30% strike damage increase for 15 timer counts. And he gets 35% to his key recovery for 15 timer counts. That's actually going to stack with another ability, so we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second. But keep in mind that he can heal and do a lot more damage with his main ability. Next thing is his Z ability. This is probably his biggest drawback, is it's a green-based Z ability. If it wasn't green-based, it would be amazing. It's 30% to strike and blast defense during battle. Makes him a lot more tanky, and if he had a better tag, it could make the team pull a lot more tanky. Unfortunately, that's what we're stuck with. Now let's scroll down a little bit more, and we see Endurance and his Crisis ability. We'll come back to the Crisis ability in just a second. But here is the huge thing about this character. This is why this character is so powerful. It restores own health by 20% and a 30% damage inflicted for 10 timer count buff when own health reaches 0. So essentially, it activates once. You can sponge the Rising Rush. He gets 20% of his health back, and you do 30% more damage. Then you use this main ability that takes you up to 45% of your original health, and you're going to be doing 60% strike damage, 30% all damage. So he's going to be doing a massive amount of damage right after he sponges the Rising Rush, and he's going to be starting from approximately half health. So he's extremely powerful. Now let's go down here and look at the last thing, which is -5 to own strike arts cost when 2 allies are defeated. That's not super helpful if you ask me. When you get to a point when you have your 2 allies defeated, you essentially just want to get as much damage out as quickly as you can. You're not going to be able to switch between characters. It's kind of helpful if for whatever reason your Vanishing Step is ready to go. You can use up all your Strike Arts cards and you'll have some key left, so when you get your next set of strike cards or your next set of cards that you can attack again as soon as you Vanishing Step. But if you have 2 allies dead, you're not going to be able to Vanishing Step to switch out, so you're probably going to take damage, which means you're going to have a chance to regen your key anyway, or you maybe die. So in my general estimation, that's not super powerful. Every now and then it will come in as a little bit helpful right at the very end of a match, but on average, I don't think it's going to be something going to help you a lot. Okay, so the next thing we should look at are his actual arts. His strike and his blast are standard. They do impact damage, the same as almost every other strike and blast in the game. The next thing is his Gallic Gun. Deals major impact damage and 20% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So just like I said before, he is a strike-based unit. Everything in his kit is to increase the damage of his strike attacks. So let's go down to the next one, Explosive Wave. And just like I said, 25% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. It inflicts attribute downgrade, 15% to damage received to enemy for 20 timer counts on hit. So what you'll notice here on this right side, whoops, didn't mean to close that, is that it doesn't hit guaranteed. It's an AoE attack, but you have to be at medium to close range. If it hits them, you're going to get a huge strike damage increase, and they're also going to take bonus damage on top of that. If you sponge Rising Rush with this character, and then you use his main ability, you're going to get a 60% damage buff. If you can then follow that up with this Explosive Wave, you're now talking about a 75% damage buff, and then that 25% on top of that, 100% bonus damage to your strike attacks with this character for a fairly short period of time, but it's going to absolutely decimate whoever you hit with it. That being said, we should talk about the teams that he fits on. Obviously, his tag is built for a mono green team. Mono green is not super viable right now. The 2 viable teams that he can actually fit on are the Saiyan team, where he's not optimal because there are lots of other options that I would say are better. Generally, people run what they call the Holy Trinity, which is Super Saiyan Bardock, Super Saiyan Gogeta, and then the not free Super Saiyan, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So that's generally who you're going to run on that team. This character doesn't give you any bench viability, so he wouldn't be on there. If you're missing some of those characters, you can absolutely run him on a Saiyan team. If you want to set up some type of alternate Saiyan team, he can work on that. The team that he actually is viable for right now that you want him on if you're going to run them is Frieza Force. So essentially what you would run is Final Form Frieza, the yellow character, green Captain Ginyu, and then you would run this guy. So it's a green-green-yellow team, which is the color counter team. So you have the two greens who get countered by purple, but then you have the yellow Final Force Frieza who's there to counter that purple, who's normally Broly, who's going to probably truck your Frieza anyway. That's the big issue with greens right now, is that Broly is just the meta of the game, and any green is not safe against him. Outside of Broly, this is a fantastic character, and he can work in lots of different situations just because he gives you that viability of sponging a Rising Rush. Okay, so since we just had the class up, I have a team that I just threw him on to try and do an actual showcase here. These are the only characters that I really have 2,000. I've got 2 or 3 other that are 2,000, but they're not Saiyans. They don't fit into the team that I was talking about before. I am leveling my Captain Ginyu and my Final Force Frieza to get them to 2,000 and run a Frieza Force team to have a better way to showcase him. But I think this will do a good job of sort of showing you how the character works. 2 more things to take note of. Based on what I've seen on this character, what I've seen on the other characters on the banner, I would say he's probably the second best character on the current banner. And the other thing is we should look at the equipment that I'm using on him. So there are a few different equipment options, but generally what I've done is I've tried to max out his strike attack as much as I can while giving him a little bit of defense. So the first one is You'll Pay. You get base strike attack, critical, and some key restore speed. Critical is not super useful with the current setup we have here, but the key restore speed is valuable, and the strike attack, obviously he's a strike attack character. The next one is more strike attack. It is Feast Rise on this, add strike attack, a little bit of blast attack, which obviously, like I said, not the most powerful option, but a little more damage is a little more damage, and then the key restore speed. And then the last one is because the fact that he's not the tankiest unit in the world, we want to give him a little bit of extra defense. So 9% to health, some extra strike defense, some extra blast defense. Do it, defeat Frieza. So there are a few other options there, but I would say generally for this character, what you want to do is maximize his strike attack and then make him a little bit more defensive if you can. Those are pretty much the main things you care about with this guy. So now let's back out and go do a little bit of PvP and show you what this character can do in real time. Okay, so this guy doesn't have multiple 2,000. Well, he's got 2,000, so he doesn't have a third one. This is going to be a bit of a problem with this showcase, I think, is it's going to be hard to show off against people who have full teams of 2,000. But I think you can get the idea as I use him here and we sponge some Rising Rushes. We see his health come back, pop his main ability. He should be able to do a ton of damage. So I have yet to actually use him myself. We're going to use him right now. So this is the first time that I'm using him, level 2,498. Let's see what happens. Okay. And alrighty then. You're just gonna tank those, huh? Alright. Well, I'm okay with it. And let's see what we got here. Yep. And then we will move in. Get him with the green card, like we said before. Oh! Well, I didn't mean to... Well. We'll deal with it. And drop him in. I would really like to get that combo off with the Vegeta, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Maybe. Maybe. We'll switch right here, and then try to get this green card off. Rising Rush him so I can show. You gonna do it? I think he is. Probably should have switched out there. I think we're still good though. Yeah, we are. Okay. I could have sworn I got that strike off in time. That's okay. He timed that very well. So I wanted to tank that Rising Rush right there, but he decided to use it when my Vegeta was not available. Okay. And we did not do a good job on the Dokubaki impact there. Okay, let's switch out to the Vegeta. He can kill the Vegeta, and we'll get Vegeta back to where he needs to be. Come on. You guys are making this really hard to oh. Wow, I am failing horribly on the taps today. Kill me. Right here, kill me. Okay, cool. Then we heal. We should be doing a ton of damage, and we are. Oh, of course. Let's just disconnect. Very good. Okay. This one... Okay, so we actually have 3 2000s this time, and we've got the Broly, which is going to make my life rough. They're running that, the big 3 team that we normally see, which is the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the Super Gogeta, and Super Saiyan Bardock. So let's go ahead and see if we can't put a dent in this guy. Now, one other thing to mention here is that the only one out of these 3 that is 498'd is the Vegeta. So my Majin Vegeta and my Goku Black are not 498% yet. I'm working on it, trying to get them there. There's just so many characters to get to that point. But they do have a little bit of soul boost to them, maybe 20 to 30% in that last tier. Get them. And double strike attack. The damage is real. Tap him, get back into it. Oh, he tried. Oh, he's mad. Here we go. Every time, man. Every time. Tap him, switch. Get it close. See if we can rise and rush this guy. Yep, we can. Very good. Let's get rid of that. Now, normally you wouldn't want to rise and rush him because type disadvantage, but Goku Black does enough damage to Saiyans that this should easily just tear him in half, which it did. Okie dokie. And he's just gonna hit me though. I don't have much I can do there. Now, I think... Oh. I'm not exactly sure what just happened right there. I'm not quite sure if it lagged there, because it should have actually used my blast from mid-range, not from close range like that, but whatever, I'll take it. Okay, and as you can see there, we just won our 10th match. Season is brand new. Alright. Okay. We're gonna skip this one, guys. We're not gonna watch this video. To the next one. Okay, so these guys are all 2000. We should have a legitimate match here. Let's see what we can do. Let's lead out with the... It's actually not bringing a ton of... Oh. Kind of a weird team. Okay, let's lead out with the Vegeta, because we know that the damage is going to be there for Vegeta, whereas if I lead out with Goku Black, may not be leading out with a Saiyan, although it looks like he's probably going to bring the 2 Saiyans on the left, and probably the Super Saiyan God Goku. Either way, let's see if we can get this set up and try to sponge a Rising Rush to show you the amount of damage that you can really get out of this Vegeta. I think we saw in the other video there that he was putting down some pretty good damage, but I'd like to get that more standard optimal setup going, just so you can see the real kind of power behind this character once he's sponged the Rising Rush for you. Alright, and after 30 years, we're finally loaded in. He actually didn't go with the, Oh. Alright. I'm positive that I swiped that, but okay. Either way, let's continue. And you switched. What? Okay. I'm doing something wrong here because it's not letting me... Oh, it's just super laggy. Ah, got it. Okay. Good try. Try to get out of that one. Yeah, this is crazy laggy. Wow. Oh, purple on green. Why would you switch? This is... I'm gonna try my best to sponge this Rising... Oh, there we go. Sweet. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try my best to sponge the Rising Rush, but I can't guarantee anything because it's so crazy laggy in this match. Like, my inputs are not registering half the time, so this is fun. Alright, either way, I think he's dead here. And he is. We're gonna get our health back. We're gonna use our main ability. We're gonna go like this. I don't know if this is even gonna work because of the... But you can already see that the damage... Why? Okay, so the way that was supposed to work is I was supposed to dash forward to mid-range with that green card, but because it's lagging, it's just not... It's not taking the input, so that's a little unfortunate. Either way, oh, what is going on here? Okay. Okay. Infuriating. I see. What just happened? Okay. Alrighty then. And we'll switch to Vegeta if we can. That's what it's supposed to look like. There we go. And then we follow that with the strike. And it does a ton of damage now. There we go. Switch out. Ooh, ooh. Alrighty. Be able to put a fair amount of damage on him here. And as you see there, the Vegeta can sponge that Rising Rush, and then he brings the pain back. And then the big thing there is, look, he's taking a Rising Rush, and he's already back at half health. This is... Why do people lag? See, and I... Okay. Whatever. Ah, very good. I figured he had that. I just wanted to use it and switch to the yellow. Should be able to... Oh. Man. This is... This is insanity. Alright, well, we saw what we wanted. Let's go ahead and finish this guy off. Okay, so... And that should get the job done. Oh, laggy people are the worst. But there you have it. That's pretty much what you can do with Vegeta. Sponge the Rising Rush, do a ton of damage back, and then you've still got half health after you've done all that damage and you've got your combo back at him. So, that's pretty much it. Let me know what teams you guys are running this character on, and if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.